What's up guys, Jonathan here, welcome back to the channel. I was able to achieve financial freedom through real estate investing at 27, and this channel is all about helping you do the same, breaking down the strategies that I use or are using today to figure it out the same way you are. If you're into that, please hit the like and subscribe button. I would love to have you here. We put out videos every week, if not more than once a week, and we just go through every tactic we use. Just a heads up, this video is actually gonna be two parts. I filmed it first as one, it was too long, and I couldn't figure out what parts to cut out. It all just seemed kind of worth having, so buckle up. There will be a link below for the other link, and hope to see you guys on both of them. So this is probably one of the most overused terms in real estate or investing in general, passive income. Sounds pretty cool though, right? It is, but I don't think of this as black and white anymore. I think of it more like a spectrum, that there are highly passive and there are highly active strategies. And then there are a bunch in the middle. So what we're doing today is just kind of going through the differences between the passive and the active, and then which strategies I kind of categorize differently depending on what you have to do in order to make money. A lot of people also wonder which strategy is right for me, or based on my situation or scenario where I live. So we're gonna cover a lot of that in this video too, so you can have an idea of which strategy you can start with or might be a good fit for you. And just one other disclaimer, this video is gonna be real estate specific. For most of the strategies I've used myself, they are around real estate, but I also do just think it is the best strategy to get into investing, but also passive investing, where you can do more than just put money in and not have any control of something. So I think of it kind of as a good mix of both, where you can get control, but really good returns also. So let's start by understanding actually the difference between passive and active investing, or at least the way that I think about it. When I say most passive, I think of this as truly passive income. You put money in something and all you have to do is really just make sure that you're getting your returns, either by checking your account weekly or monthly, and you could be making money as you're sleeping, playing golf, on vacation. It doesn't matter. You don't have to actually do anything to make the money. That is what I define as truly passive income. When I say truly active income, I think of it more as you need to be there every day to make sure things go the way that they should. It is a full-time career or business or even a job. You can make tons of money, but you have to be there. It's very time intensive a lot of times, and it is not something you're just doing as a side hustle or a little part-time thing. All right, so let's just jump in, starting with the highly passive strategies. Starting with the time needed for these, I don't really think it should take more than really just a couple hours of front-end setup, just doing some research, talking to people, kind of getting some references. But after that, these strategies really shouldn't require more than a couple minutes a week or month just to check in and see how things are going. Even if you just want to or don't want to, you don't have to spend more time than that kind of just overseeing things. Some people obviously do, but you definitely don't have to. The two that come to mind here are lending people money and investing in real estate syndications as a limited partner. These might be a little boring for some of you risk takers out there, but traditionally these return at least 6 to 10%. Obviously that can change, but they are pretty stable passive investments for people that want to get started in real estate. One other one I didn't want to leave out is note investing. You can either buy notes on specific properties or invest in note funds. These also are truly passive. You just put money into them and see your money kind of check in on a weekly or monthly basis. All right, the pros and cons. The pros here are fairly obvious. You just give someone money and that's the last time you have to think about it. After that, you should just be getting a return, seeing money hit your bank account, and checking it, like I said, either on a weekly or monthly basis, just to make sure things are going smoothly. Cons, like any investment, if you pick a bad operator, there is always risk. There's no guarantees. It could go wrong and you could lose your money, which could happen in any of these. But in these, it definitely could happen, just a little less control. Second con, with some of these, there are lower returns based on taking lower risk. Not always, like with syndications, we've seen people make more money than they made in stocks or active investing, but you can't guarantee that. So in some cases, you are buying something or putting money into something that has a lower return based on a lower risk level. All right, number two, we are talking about passive strategies. The first one that I think about here is buying turnkey rentals, and in this case, buying them from a turnkey company. These companies have infrastructure set up in markets all over the US. They find properties, they fix them, they rent them, they put a property manager in place, and then they sell them off to people who are looking to buy property that they don't want to deal with any of the headaches or the finding of properties, so they can just buy something that's turnkey on day one, should make money. The time needed for this, I would say, is maybe 5 to 10 hours, a little bit more research and references, kind of getting a feel for different operators based on where you live or where you want to invest. But after that, again, it should be fairly passive, just kind of checking in on things. There's always pop-ups that happen on these type of properties that you might need to get involved in or send people out to, or just kind of oversee expenses. But after the setup, it should be a fairly passive investment where you just make money every month, and you have a property specifically designated to you that you're building equity in as well, and tax write-offs. The pros, this also should be a fairly passive investment. You now own a property that you are building equity in, and you can just check in on it every month. You're not the one handling the day-to-day. A property manager is doing that for you, and you own property. You are in the game. A couple cons here. One, since the turnkey company is taking all the risk and they're doing all the work, a lot of times they are taking profits that you could be getting if you did it yourself. Also, since they are oftentimes the ones selling you the property, it does get a little weird sometimes when you're trying to negotiate and you're direct to seller and you are looking for a better price. Every dollar that you take off for yourself is a dollar less that they make. So I have seen these get a little weird, but in most cases they can be overcome and it's not that big a deal. All right, guys, this is part one. I'm hitting pause now. We're gonna jump to part two where we go through the rest of the strategies and get more into active stuff. See you guys there. Hope this is helpful so far.